All right, welcome in, everybody. It is Tuesday. It's time for Total Bases. Bryan has made his way back across the country. He's back in Las Vegas. It's actually, did you sleep? Have you slept at all, is what we want to know before we get the show going.
I may have gotten 4 hours. It's been, I'm to the point anymore where I love to travel, but I hate to fly, especially if it's cross country. I can't imagine when Brandon goes from Japan to Arizona, how long of a flight that is. It's crazy. I don't think I could ever do it.
I will say this though, I have a much easier time going to the West Coast. Anytime I come home from the West Coast, I'm usually is when it really gets me. So at any rate, we're all here. There's 15 Major League Baseball games to break down today. And we're going to do that for the next hour like we do every day right here on Wager Talk TV. How about we start in the Lone Star State? This is a kind of an important game tonight. We've got America's team, the New York Yankees. I don't know if that's America's team. I just feel like they are. But the New York Yankees, they're taking on the Houston Astros, two teams that are in battles in their respective divisions, but probably gonna both be in the playoffs this year as the American League sort of playoff picture, I guess has taken shape already. So let's go to Bryan, Leonard. Looks like Fried and Valdez, Yankees, Astros. How are you seeing this one?
Well, they're not America's team to me because I'm from Cleveland, and the Yankees always took all of our best players that we couldn't afford. So they've been my most hated team as a child. But hey, if I was a Yankees fan, I'd be loving it. So
Bryan, do you think there's more Yankee haters in the country or Yankee fans? Close, right?
I would say haters because they've been so good for so long. It's sort of like the Patriots. When the Patriots were what they were doing in the NFL, you either love the Patriots or you hated them. And it's similar to Dallas Cowboys also.
Colin Gregory says haters all day. I think I agree.
Yeah.
Colin says haters all day. The chat is saying fire Boone. See, I know how to get the chat going. Now we're going here. So Yankees, Astros. I saw Boone was at the game last night, I think. Did I see that correctly? I think he was at the football game.
Oh, was he? Well, it's good that he's spending his time doing something productive because he's not doing it as a manager. I can't believe he got that 2-year
his team.
2-year extension. But anyway, let's get back to what's important as of right now. Yeah, the Yankees are at home, on the road. Max Fried against Framber Valdez, both lefties. And we've got the Yankees about a 114 favorite right now. Totals either 7.5 to the over or 8 to the under. When I take a look at this one, Max Fried, other than that one part of the season where I think he might have been dealing with blisters or something, but he's been pretty good since then. But he did go 3 or 4 starts where he really struggled. Right now, 3.06 ERA, 3.73 expected, 1.11 WHIP. Now, when I talk about expected and him being so far down, go back the last, the last 3 years or 4 years, and every year, 6 years straight now, where he has beaten his expected numbers. So he's doing something that they're not picking up in anybody's programs regarding that. But he's been very good. His chase rate is down only in the 36th percentile, but he's a very solid pitcher, and he throws 7 pitches. Basically, a lot of junk he throws up there, which is fine. That's what I like, and he's been very good. And the Yankees bullpen is in pretty good shape right now. Framber Valdez recently came back from injury, 3.18 ERA, 3.73 expected, 1.19 WHIP. He's also a guy, the expected ERA is always higher than what his numbers are, going all the way back to his second season in 2019. So these are two guys that always perform better than their metrics. So the first thing I look at there is when these two get together, should I play the under? Well, you've got Valdez, 98th percentile in ground ball percent. He doesn't give up home runs. Usually when you take a look at teams like the Yankees here, they're known for their bats. But the Yankees right now they're a big home run team, and they're playing a team that, or at least the starting pitcher, doesn't give home runs. And you got a Houston team who has been shut out how many games in the last month? I mean, their offense just has not done well. If you can still get an 8 out there, and I see them at minus 115 or so, I think that's not a bad bet. Houston and the Yankees under. I think both these starting pitchers will have some success.
Yeah, guys, I had a good day yesterday. I couldn't believe the line for the Giants against the Rockies yesterday, probably because Tang was unproven. That was my only MLB play, and it won, and I just went 3-1 in Asian baseball. So looking good right now. Go to our pages at wagertalk.com to see what we got up. It's $5 Tuesday. So I'm sure all three of us will have a $5 play and a free play as well. Mine's already up. Regarding this game, these are two well put together organizations, well run organizations. Yankees have struggled a bit, but actually the Astros were the ones who were struggling at the plate until the last couple of games. Last couple of games, they're starting to catch on. But like 5 games before that, I think they scored like 3 runs in 5 games. They're just cold as ice. Now they're heating up a little bit. The first thing that jumps out when you look at this matchup is, wow, we got 2 really good pitchers here. But if you look at how they do against the batters they're facing today, not so good. Valdez has struggled against these batters in his career for a 300 average against and an 829 OPS against. And that's 80 at-bats against, a good sample size. Fried has struggled as well, not quite as bad, against the Astro batters that he's facing today. 97 at-bats against, 299 average, and a 760 OPS. So not very good, actually, but still, Fried's numbers are a little better than Valdez's against the batters he's facing. I have these 2 starting pitchers on a curve of 30 ranked dead even. I got the bullpens ranked close to dead even, but the real discrepancy I see here, 2 things. Number one, Yankees are batting a lot better than the Astros right now in current form. And also, Max Fried's walk ratio is within an acceptable range, but Valdez's, his walks to strikeout ratio is not very good, 53. And I like people to be in the, I like pitchers to be in the 30 to 40% range. He's walking 53% of the batters that he strikes out. It's too high. I think it's Yankees or nothing, but I'm not going to play it because I think the discrepancy between these 2 teams is just too slim for me to play it. So I won't be playing it. Muted.
Yeah, the dogs were getting after it. Sorry about that. 2 things quick. Titan CT says, yeah, he was at NC. He was, and he was decked out in North Carolina gear. I wonder if he's getting blamed for that. Yeah, I wonder if he's getting blamed for their loss. You know, he's on the field, North Carolina gear. They got killed last night, so maybe they're blaming Aaron Boone for that. The second thing, TB, yeah, I was on the Giants yesterday too. Got him at like minus 130. Couldn't believe that. And I had a 2-0 day in MLB yesterday. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. Giants. Yeah, and like you're saying, I think they just didn't really understand how to price Tang, and he ended up being pretty good. So Giants and Mets for me yesterday. Hopefully we can get it going again today. For this game right here, I'm just gonna kind of refer back to my numbers. I have the Yankees, maybe a slight edge on the number. I think that probably where it's priced in the minus 110, minus 15 range is fair. As far as like, you come into this game, my gut tells me the Yankees could put a little pressure on Toronto. Like, just forget this game for a second. Like, even though they lost their last game, but the Blue Jays losing in the fashion they did yesterday, that should certainly get the Yankees juices flowing. 2.5 back now in that division after yesterday's loss. And I know I was arguing with people on Twitter over the weekend. I still think the Astros choke this division away. I still think the Mariners have it in the tank. I think the Mariners are a better team. And so, like, I'm certainly coming into this series looking for a place to sort of play the Yankees and fade Houston. I don't mind it being here. Like, I'm still higher on Fried long-term than Valdez. So, like, I guess I'm not going to waste a ton of time on this one because I don't have a really, like, super strong conviction about this game. But I will just say in general in this series, I kind of would like to find a place to play the Yankees. I just like the way that the Yankees are trending right now. And I think they're hungry I think the Blue Jays have sort of reignited the flame a little bit. Like Bryan said, they know they're going to be in the playoffs. You pretty much know, like unless there's like a big time collapse, you pretty much know your 6 playoff teams in the American League. But the Yankees have a real shot to catch the Blue Jays. And 3-4 weeks ago, I just did not think that was going to be the case. I thought the Blue Jays were going to run away with this division. They're 7-3. You got the Yankees 7-3 in their last 10 games. Right now, Yankees run differential 134, plus 134. It's one of the best marks in Major League Baseball. Blue Jays only 55. I don't know how much you read into that, but maybe this Yankees team is a little bit better than we gave them credit for. And maybe they've just cleaned it up a little bit. Because remember, I don't think they were ever a bad team. They were just making a lot of mistakes, costing them games. Haven't done it as much lately. Guess it doesn't surprise me that they're winning at this rate. So a lean toward the Yankees. Aaron Pauling says, noteworthy, Houston is 6-1 straight up as a home dog this season. Obviously small sample size, but worth pointing out. I don't like Fried, but I do love Valdez, especially at home. Yeah, I think it's all very solid points. I don't think I'll have anything in this one, but it's certainly a big game and probably going to be a good one to watch. Let's go to the next game. Let's go to the next game here. Let's see. Jose Perez says he likes McLean K's today. So I'm assuming he's talking about the Mets. Mets got it done for me yesterday. That game turned into a total slugfest. Mets end up winning 10-8. No one could get out. Today, it is Nolan McLean, who has been tremendous. I think, Bryan Leonard, it's safe to say he's exceeded expectations since his call-up with his ERA currently under 1. And I'm guessing the Tigers, is Gibson Long actually listed? I think he's listed, right? Sawyer Gibson Long. So he was one of those guys yesterday. I said the Tigers were going to expand their roster. They're going to kind of spread some innings around. And one of those guys that's going to get some of those innings is Sawyer Gibson Long, who's been down at Toledo. Mets Tigers here. McLean has been tremendous. Bryan, are you going to bet against him? Are you going to keep riding him, or is there no way into this game for you?
Well, people were asking in the chat why he was a 140 favorite. Well, he's no longer a 140 favorite. That's a good thing. He's down to 125 in a lot of the sharp books out there, which means that the guys who bet for a living are jumping on going against him, which kind of surprises me. Because if I wanted to go against him, I think I would wait till later in the day because he's got so many fans right now, and a lot of people are looking to bet him that they maybe they know something we don't. I don't know. Maybe they know what the lineup's going to be today. But yeah, McLean against Gibson Long. We got the Mets at about 127 right now overall, and we've got 8.5 to the over 20. When you take a look at McLean, he's been nothing but unbelievable so far. 0.89 now. Your ERA, expected ERA 2.58. So obviously there's a lot of luck involved, especially you've gone 20 innings and you got an ERA under 1 as a rookie. But his whip is 0.69. He's been fantastic that way. He's only pitched 20 innings. So a lot of his numbers from the advanced stat metric he hasn't thrown enough pitches yet for it to be really meaningful. But I will say his hard hit rate, he's getting hit a little bit, and his average exit velocity. So we can see a blow up at any time. That said, this is a guy who comes in with 6 different pitches as a rookie. He's 24 years old. I think he's got a great career ahead of him. I've been very impressed, but he is pitching over his head at this point. Gibson Long, guy that I've liked for a long time. 2 seasons. He's 2023. He threw 20 innings, and 2024, I believe it was an injury-prone year, so he didn't play at all. And then in 2025, he's got thrown 25 innings so far. He's got great extension, 97th percentile, doesn't walk many batters. He's very good in the chase rate. But he's not going to beat you with his fastball. He's only the 20th percentile in fastball velocity. And that's still, even though he spreads out his 5 pitches pretty well, he still throws his 4-seamer more than anybody else or any of his other pitches. And he only throws at 92.9. So he's more of a junk ball type of pitcher, but I like those kind of guys. And I think I'm glad he's back on the Tigers roster. He's going to help this team. He's a good pitcher. He just has had problems with injuries so far. So when I take a look at these two, As I mentioned, the line basically 127 and 8.5 to the over. Somewhat like the under here. This is a good pitching ballpark. McLean's been a great pitcher so far, although I think his best of what we have seen out of him has probably already happened. He's going to have some regression. Don't know how long he's going to go. I haven't read through that as of yet, but Detroit has struggled lately, but this is still a playoff team. They're going to the playoffs, and we've seen them earlier in the year. A lot of people thought they were the best team in baseball. This is what happens. That's why they play 162 games. Like both the pitchers, but I am a little bit afraid of McLean's regression. So slight lean with Detroit, but don't think I'll get there.
So this is a weird one. $5 Tuesday, guys. Grab our $5 plays. This is a weird one because, McLean's been very impressive, but the sample size is small. So do you trust it or not is the question. And the original question from Jose, who's always watching our show. We appreciate you, Jose. I'll give you my projection on his Ks. It's 7.0. But he's only started 3 games, so I don't really know if I can trust the sample size. Gibson Long is a weird stat here. His ERA is a little bit bloated, 4.3, but his whip is amazing, 104. So don't really know what to make of him, but what I do know is by looking over his starts this season, every time he goes into the 5th inning, he gives up at least 3 runs. That's what I do know. The Mets are ranked top 10 in every stat that I have. Bullpen, starting pitcher, batting, every expected stat that I see, they're top 10 in everything. I got the Tigers lineup right now ranked 21 and their bullpen ranked 15. So kind of hard to go against McLean here, in my opinion. The thing is, Gibson Long is kind of an X factor because it's really erratic. I don't think he's an erratic pitcher, but the way they're using him is really erratic. So I don't really know what to expect from him. But I do know the Mets are just clubbing right now. Number 1 lineup in baseball in current form. And the Tigers are not. So it would be Mets or nothing for me. I'm going to look at McLean's outs recorded. If it's 16 or 17, I'll definitely take an over on that because they're letting him go 91, 94, 95 pitches, increasingly longer. They'll probably rope him in under 100, but still, he's an extremely efficient pitcher. He's pitching into the 6th, 7th inning on 90 pitches. That's very efficient. So I'll look at that as well.
This is a tough one for me because I feel like I was way ahead of the curve on McLean, and he's been very, very good. But I also I watched this guy pitch. I probably went to 3 of his starts in Syracuse this year. He's not immortal. He got hit in the minors at times. So while this run has been extremely impressive, and I really do think that you're seeing what his ceiling can be, and he is going to be a tremendous pitcher. Kind of reminds me of Matt Harvey when the Mets called him up and he went on that tear as a rookie. But the thing is, is the guy unhittable? No. I was at games that he gave up some hard hit and gave up some runs in the minors. So someone's probably going to get to him at some point. Very well could be on the road in Detroit. You never know. But I do think it's worth, for me, I have to at least acknowledge, okay, this guy is exactly what I thought he could be. And do I want to then turn around and potentially cost myself money by betting against that? I'd be pretty upset with myself. I feel if I turned around, took Detroit, and he comes out and pitches well, and I'm just I'm just saying that's where I am personally because I feel I was so far ahead of the curve on McLean. Now, I don't want to play against Detroit here because I really like Sawyer Gipson-Long. I actually think Sawyer Gipson-Long will be on the Tigers playoff roster, and I think he's probably one of the better pitchers on this team right now. If you look at their whole list of pitchers, and that's the thing I was talking about yesterday with the Tigers. The Mets really cooked through some bullpen yesterday to win that game 10-8. The Tigers are just rotating guys in. They're just going to come back with a whole series of different pitchers today because again, they're 8 games, 8.5 games in the lead, 9 games in the lead in their division. So you're not going to see the Tigers have quote unquote bullpen usage problems from day to day because they're not going to pitch anyone back to back. That's just not how they're going to manage the game. It's going to be Sawyer Gibson Long. It's going to be all relievers that didn't throw yesterday. So that makes me like Detroit. The other thing that makes me like Detroit here, you got to understand, like, I think Bryan talked about Gibson Long coming into the season. He was hurt. He didn't start his season until May when he was going through rehab. He didn't make his first appearance for the Tigers until June 4th. And it was kind of clear at that time that he wasn't really ready yet. Maybe he didn't have a long enough spring, but that first month of June when he was up, he wasn't great. And then he got hurt again. So like, this is a guy that started his season late, then got hurt again a second time. And he spent the entire month of August down at Toledo. But this time, or with the exception of one outing for the Tigers, this time around, he's been really, really good though. So he looks like he's not hurt anymore because the last month with one appearance in Detroit. So this is August for Sawyer Gibson Long, a 2.65 ERA, a 0.94 WHIP, and a 197 batting average against. That's kind of what I expected from Gibson Long coming into this season. So I'm not betting against him either right now. Does it mean you bet the under? I don't know because that 8.5, maybe. But like, I don't know if I want to I don't know if I want to take an under and potentially have the Mets bullpen. Like if they're a little bit behind, they may use their depth arms today because they need to like look forward and set themselves up for a potential win tomorrow. I think if I had to play this, it'd be Tigers plus 1.5. And I do so reluctantly knowing that if I run into a hot Nolan McLean, I might lose again. But Tigers plus 1.5 makes sense. And maybe Tigers on that plus money. Just from a value standpoint. Go ahead, Bryan.
Yeah, first off, regarding the bullpen for the Mets, they used 6 of their best guys yesterday. And Brandon Waddell, who they called up from AAA, he threw 58 pitches on Sunday. So he won't be available. Now, these guys, none of them threw over 15 pitches, so they'll be available. But some of them, like Diaz has pitched 2 of the last 3 days. Rogers the same way. In fact, 2 other players have been the same. As for the hitting, because Brandon mentioned the Mets, they're number 164 WRC plus. But when you look on Fangraphs and they have it broken down they rate the players based on the last 7 days in Major League Baseball. To show you how hot they are, this is the top 4 hitters for the Mets in the lineup. This is the last 7 days in all of Major League Baseball. Lindor ranks 19th, Soto number 1, Alonso number 9, Nemo number 6, and they follow that up with Vientos at 54. So the top of this the top of this lineup is as hot as it possibly be. That's the only concern I have about playing Detroit is you've got all these guys in conjunction, all in the lineup together, all hitting the hell out of the ball. Maybe we look for maybe the Mets to not score in the second inning or something like that. I don't do a lot of those things, but yeah, if he can get out, if Long can get out of that first inning, I think they're in pretty good shape for Detroit. But that's going to be a tough way to start the game.
Yeah, and unless they make another roster move today, it looks like it's going to be Justin Hagenman is likely the guy that's going to pitch probably a bulk type role, even if it's high leverage after McLean. Because they added him to the roster yesterday. Now, his numbers at the big league level have been really good this year in a small sample size. Problem is he hasn't pitched in the big since August 12th. Last couple outings at Syracuse have not been as good. So I think that would be, I don't know that like just because he has like a couple good outings for the Mets this year in spot type starts, I'm not sure that I'd be super excited about getting Hagenman from like the 6th to the 8th inning in this game, which is like, I can just about guarantee what the Mets are going to try to do. They're going to try to hope Nolan McLean has his best stuff. It's going to be Hagenman for a couple innings. And then if they are in position to win, they might just ask a Diaz or someone to like go out and it's like, hey, season's on the line. We need you to just get 3 outs. But I think that's what you're going to see out of the Mets bullpen today. On the flip side, if they're trailing, I think you can expect Hagenman to finish the game. That's not good for an under, my opinion, because, again, he's been blown up a couple times at Syracuse last couple times out. So I have no interest in the total because I think you could see some late runs here. Tigers or pass. I'll leave it at that. That's another one. Two tough, two very interesting games to start things off. But I knew they would create big talking points on the show. So the show loves to talk Tigers and seems to love to talk Yankees. So we had to get those two out of the way. Let's see if we can find something that's actually worth playing here. Heading back to the chat. All right. Danzo. He says, I told you yesterday the Brewers lost same reason the Padres. Oh, so he's kind of pointing out, favorites on the holiday type days struggle. I don't know what there is to that. I think it's just like, I think favorites this time of year a little bit struggle because, Bryan, do you think the grind of 162 games by this point in the year is somewhat of an equalizer? Is that why we're seeing some of these favorites drop games? I'm just trying to sort of add something like actionable to the comment that was made.
Yeah, I don't. Excuse me. All the teams that are fighting for the playoffs, they've been fighting hard, and now they're in the position where they will make the playoffs or they won't. So if you get the teams that are going to make the playoffs, I would expect them to struggle the rest of the way because they're not going to need to play the starters as often, and you're going to get more of a chance to go against weaker lineups in that regard. A lot of the teams that are out of the playoffs, they haven't had those intense innings, especially from a pitching staff, where they're not in these games. Like take a look at like Houston, their offense has been struggling for so long. They've got to win these games 3-2. So there's a lot of pressure on the bullpens and the pitchers for those teams because they're in it every day. But you get a team, the Angels, some other teams, the A's, that haven't been in the playoff race for most of the season or for all of the season. And they don't have to worry about that. They've got less high impact innings on their starters and their bullpens. So those are teams that I'm looking to play on as the season goes on here. And as for the holiday, that's the first time I've ever heard that. So I don't have any information on that.
These guys don't know that it's a holiday. These guys are in such a grind. They don't know Labor Day, Memorial Day. The only holidays they know is the holidays that are on the off season. Because to them, it's road or home. They don't know it's Labor Day. They don't care. So even the bad teams who are out of the playoffs, they're thinking about next year's contract. These guys are human beings. They want to keep their job. The average employment in MLB is less than 7 years. It's probably less than 6 years. So these guys want a contract, I think the grind that is an equalizer towards the very, very end of the season among teams that are in same situations.
Sure.
But good teams and bad teams, I don't know if there's a lot of difference as far as games played.
Just to wrap up his comment, I will say this, like having to play a bunch of day games on a Monday is certainly not what these teams typically do. Like Monday oftentimes is either a night game or a travel day. So like that definitely could have something to it. You had a lot of teams maybe playing a second day game. It was a weird scheduling spot because how often do you see Major League Baseball teams playing day games, afternoon games on a Monday? It doesn't happen very often. So might maybe something to that. I will sort of stay on this same topic here and go to a game that Travis asked about. I know who he likes here because he commented on our replay yesterday, which again, that's always up on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. So go drop a comment. We'll try to get to it in the show. I know Travis is looking at the Pirates today. So back to Bryan Leonard. This is kind of fits that dichotomy of the Dodgers. They're in the playoffs. Whether they're going to win their division or not is still to be determined. But they're in against a team that's been out for a long time. Is there, is there enough of an equalizer here to look toward the Pirates is the question. Dodgers, Pirates at PNC Park tonight.
Yeah, I fully understand where he's going on this, and he's been a great contributor to the to our program. I really appreciate it. It goes in after on the replay and talks a lot about that kind of stuff. So we really appreciate him being a member. A lot of great guys out there. A lot of your fellow sports bettors out there. We really appreciate. Kershaw, lefty on the road. Mlodzinski going for Pittsburgh. And we're looking at about a 165 for the Dodgers and 8.5 to the under here. Clayton Kershaw has now got 88 innings on the season after only having 30 last year. 2023 finished with 131. He's been really good this year. He surprised me based on his outputs. 3.06 ERA, but expected 3.81, whip 1.15. Barrel rate 94th percentile, walk rate 85th, ground ball rate 85th. Those are pretty good. But when you take a look at the actual pitches thrown, do have some concern. Fastball velocity, second percentile. We knew that was going to happen. The guy's 37 years old. He's thrown over 2,800 major league innings. He only throws the four-seamer 35% of the time at 89 miles an hour. Normal lefties are at 93.1. So he's got to beat him some other way. And he's not doing it from his fastball. His strikeout percentage is only in the 11th percentile. Hard hit rate, 25th. He's been avoiding that a lot because he's just a smart guy and he's a veteran pitcher. But he's pitching over his head. He's pitched over his head all season long. I'm sure they may use him come the playoffs, maybe because he struggled in the playoffs in the past. I hope they give him a chance to start because small sample size, if you ask me. But even coming out of the bullpen, I think that would be pretty impressive for him. Carmen Mlodzinski, 3.86 ERA, 4.44 expected, 1.32 whip, a little bit high there. His fastball velocity is pretty good, 76 percentile, walk rate 78, barrel rate 73. He's been pretty good for the Pirates. He's only thrown 84 innings on the season, but it's gradually gone up. 50 last year, 36 the year before. Because of Pittsburgh's success with the starters they've had and all the talent they've gotten after all these years of being lousy, this guy's being overshadowed. He's not that bad of a pitcher. And so I'm kind of in the agreement that there may be a little bit value here on the home underdog Pirates. Looking to fade Kershaw slightly, and with the Dodgers, we talked about that before. When they play divisional rivals, yeah, those are important games. When they play other teams like the Pirates or go to the American League, not as much. So I could see, I won't be involved, but I fully understand why anybody would want to take the Pirates here. Like, you can get those upwards of plus 150 in some places, but basically 140 in that range. Not a bad bet on the Pirates.
So looking through this game, one thing strikes me. Mlodzinski, in his last 19 starts, has not thrown one pitch in the fifth inning. So I would take a look at that and say, okay, well, if he's backed by a terrible bullpen, let's take the other team's team total. So I run the numbers, and Pittsburgh's bullpen is ranked 6th in MLB in current form. So they're performing really well. I'm not saying they're the 6th most talented bullpen. I'm saying that in the last current form, last month's week, 10 days, they're performing really well. The Dodgers bullpen is not. They're ranked 16 according to my numbers. One note on Kershaw, he's allowed 4 earned runs in his last 6 starts. He's pitching amazing, but yeah, how long is it going to last? And he's finishing 5 innings in almost every start. So how long is it going to last? And also, Bryan mentioned they do want to leverage him in the playoffs. So they might want to pull him early to rest him a little bit. Make it real simple. We got a 61 win team against a 78 win team. So obviously the 78 win team is more talented. I don't think anyone's going to argue that. So the cerebral me says you got to bet the Dodgers, but run the numbers. The Pirates are performing better at almost every statistic, including hitting, which is amazing. I got the Pirates in current form ranked 13 in hitting, where I got the Dodgers ranked 22. A lot of that has to do with the competition that they've been facing. And if they have one game where they scored 13 runs, it's going to skew the stats a little bit. But overall, the Pirates are better than plus 150. I agree with Bryan here. I'm not going to bet it though. No way. No way am I going to take what are they? 61 win team over 78 win team. No way. And the way Kershaw's pitching, I'm more of a guy who rides the streak until it ends, and I would rather ride Kershaw's streak until it ends, but I can't bet the Dodgers either because all my numbers love the Pirates here, so I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah, this might end up on, I think there's a Twitter account that's like things that precede unfortunate events, but I am a man of my word, and I said the Pirates are going to be a great bet in September. Wait till September comes around. They bring some of these guys up. They now have a lot of their young pitching in. Tokyo Brandon, you said, wow, their bullpen 6th overall in Major League Baseball. Well, when you have Bubba Chandler throwing 4 innings out of the bullpen on a regular basis, that's going to improve your bullpen numbers. And you talked about Mlodzinski not really going into the 5th inning. That's by design. He's not really a guy that's going to be like a 6-7 inning starter. He's more of
an opener, basically.
Yeah, like I always felt like he was going to be a good long reliever. He's used at Indianapolis as a starter often. I think you can use him as a starter, but I don't know that his strength is going to be like pitching 6-7 innings. And credit to the Pirates. I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm giving them credit for how they've managed something, because I truly believe if there were more competent folks in place, that the Pirates would probably be 10 games over 500 with the talent they have on their roster. Like, I know they lack offense a little bit, and that's an issue, but I mean, the Guardians lack offense, and the Guardians are on the fringe of a playoff race. The Pirates lack offense, yet have absolute stud pitchers. And what are we coming into today, Brian? What's the Pirates record right now? I just want to make my point here.
They're 61 and 77.
Okay.
So I do want to point out they're 39 and 30 at home. We've talked about them being bad on the road. They've only won 22 games on the road all season. So if you are going to bet the Pirates, the best place to do it is at home.
So I am going to bet the Pirates, and I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm probably going to have more than one Major League Baseball play. That's a client play. So I'm just going to do it. I just punched this in for 4%. I'll use it as my parlay leg. My play is Pirates plus 1.5. In that minus 110 range. I think that's actually a crazy value to be able to get the run here. For like minus 110, minus 115, depending on your book. That's where it is right now. I'll let Brian give us a consensus price for the parlay, but I think anything in that range is tremendous value for a Pirates team that I really think is going to be the spoiler in September. And that's what I say. You can cold takes expose me in 3 weeks if they play terrible, but I don't think they're going to. I think the Pirates are going to be the spoiler of the league this month. And I just want to make the point here. You look at WRC plus and you look at the Guardians. Okay. This is a team that's been near the bottom of the league, WRC plus all season. Just like the Pirates, they're 68 and 68, right? The Pirates are 61 and 77. And it's just because the Guardians have a much better, they just manage that. Everything is managed better in that organization. I'm not saying that they don't do things wrong too, but everything's managed better than Pittsburgh, who's essentially the Pirates have no excuse. I mean, they have a generational talent in Paul Skeens. They have like 4 other really good starting pitching options. They have great bullpen arms, and there are some talented guys, and they've essentially managed they've, when I say manage, I mean the front office has managed them into obscurity this year, 13 games out of the wild card race, which is insane for the pitching talent that's on that team. But I think they're undervalued now. And so I'll probably bet them all month when the spot presents itself. And I think that this is a spot that's worth jumping in. So Pirates.
Is that going to be your parlay?
It absolutely is. And it's a 4% for me, TB. So say that again for the people in the back that say we don't give enough picks out on this show. I could have sold that one for $5 because it's Tuesday, but I'm giving it to you for free, and I'm probably going to have another one up for $5. So Trig just providing the value today is really what it is here. Brian, what's the price on Pirates there?
I see a lot of 115s, some 120s, but let's go 116.
Perfect. Yeah, I think the back end when I was punching that in maybe gave me minus 110. So like obviously book to book, shop it around. It might actually be moving as we're doing this because I put that in probably 5-10 minutes ago. And I wouldn't be surprised one bit if the Pirates took some money today, especially on that plus 1.5, because per my numbers, that's not what it should be. And again, anything can happen on a given day. The Dodgers are still a very good team, but how often have we seen this Dodgers team go on the road in a spot like this against an inferior opponent and play down to them. I feel like they've done it all year.
Angels, Rockies, swept.
And just to hammer the point home, they just played the Diamondbacks, who I think that's enough of a rivalry to say that they could have a little bit of a letdown coming off that D-back series. I know Arizona's not a Giants to them or a Padres, but that's been a pretty heated series over the past, I would say, 8-9 years. D-backs, Dodgers. So I love the spot for the Pirates. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, if you take a look at the schedule for the Dodgers, they just played Arizona, divisional rival. Right before that, they played Cincinnati, who at the time looked like they were fighting for the playoffs, and San Diego. Now they're playing Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Colorado before they finish the season with San Francisco, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Arizona, and Seattle, either divisional rivals or teams that they may face in the playoffs. So this next 10 days or so, when they play Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Colorado, it would not surprise me if they do not end up making money for their clients. If you were to bet them every game, you may be better off playing against them and getting some plus, because they're going to be favored just about every game. So this is a time right now in the schedule where I will be looking to bet against the Dodgers. Today may be one of those days. We're losing a little bit of value as it goes on because people are coming in on Pittsburgh right now, but that's usually a good thing.
Yeah, and I just wanted to point, Steve Duke in the chat makes a point that I think is good, but I want to like just clarify it a little bit. Sharps don't hit 100%, nowhere near. Tailing sharps is always a bad idea. Price chasing is what they do. Tailing them means weaker prices for you. Generally speaking, I would agree with that. You don't want to just steam chase and constantly take a worse number. But I don't think there's any problem with being cognizant. Like for me right here, I put this in, it was -110. I do see it's moving a little bit right now. I don't think taking like a -115 on that +1.5 bet or even -120 is a bad bet by any means. I do think if you are regularly like taking 30 cents worse than what the sharp people took, yeah, that's going to be a bad look long term. But like on a one-off scenario, I think it's good to just always evaluate the information that you have. So it's like, okay, I should probably hop in on Pirates now if I like them, because this might move a little bit. Maybe I lost 5 cents, but I can live with that. And maybe it was worth the 5 cents to know that that's maybe where some respected money is. Everything's a case-by-case basis, and I would say that this is as well. But yes, your general point of, do you want to just constantly chase 25, 30 cents difference on the number? Yeah, that's going to get you in trouble long term. Can you use it to maybe like say, okay, I need to move on this. I need to jump in now because this is where it's probably going. Yeah, I think that's fine. And if you do it within like 5-10 cents, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. So I just wanted to clarify that. And if you two want to jump in on that, go ahead. But that's really, I just saw that in the chat and wanted to make that point.
Yeah, I always say
yeah, go ahead, Brian.
It's a pendulum. The right number is right in the middle. You're either over here or you're over here. And that's how you bet it. If you're over here, then you bet this team or that team. I'm looking at my picture and the thing, and I'm screwing up. But it bounces back. So if you make it like they should be a +134, let's say, and you're getting +140, then you bet them. But then once it gets past that number and you're only getting +120, it's not worthy of a bet. The other side's probably worthy of a bet.
I never pay attention to what other people bet. It's just a distraction. I just look at what the numbers are. After I bet something, I treat it like an ex-girlfriend. I never look at it again.
Please, you're checking up on me. You're not checking up on those ex-girlfriends, TB, on the Instagram, seeing what they're doing.
No.
Anyway,
I don't because nothing good comes of that. An ex-girlfriend is never going to come back to you. The only thing that's going to come from that is jealousy. Don't
you're right. I actually, I do not. I don't think I've spoken to an ex. Now I've been in a relationship for like 5 years at this point, so it's like I don't think I've spoken to an ex after it's ended ever. Now that you say that. So
neither have I, because my breakups are always bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can't say that it's been different for me, but I will go to Turnbuckle Tommy real quick. Because this has to be addressed because we all three of us sell picks and we do it right here on the Wager Talk platform. And I'm very conscious of this. And I know you guys try to be as well. He says that's the problem with buying picks. You're not getting the same line as them 90% of the time. It's all about line value. So I'm going to say two things to that. One, that's why you do like the all access and you get it right away, right? Because like, and I know that people can't be attached to their phones and sometimes they're going to lose some value, but like, I know for me, if something moves considerably, I almost always take the package down. And I actually think Wager Talk's pretty good. I've had our bosses come in and be like, hey, that's moved. Like, you can't sell that anymore. So I know that we try to do that as good as possible, but at the same time, and I'm going to do maybe my best segue promo ever here, Bryan Leonard, because we have that all access 7-day on sale right now. That's why you would do the all access, because as soon as I punch it in, you see it. And really, like, and I run into this with the AAA stuff. And that's why I have not at any point this year put a brick up to sell a minor league baseball play standalone, because I know it's going to move. So it's like, if you're on the all access, you have the shot at it. And but like, we're doing the best we can with that. But that's a good point. It's very difficult. And I know we try to really be conscious of that. But it's a point that needs to be made. And I also think that's why you pay for the overall expertise, the explanation behind it. You know, at least for me, I feel like that's why we're selling what we're selling. And I wanted to bring that up.
We also, before you, I know we're getting late, but we also put up limits on, you know, like today I've got a 4% play in Major League Baseball as my $5 play. And I said I have it good. I think there's value up until this number. So once it gets past that number, obviously either we take it down or you don't want to play it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to throw. Oh,
yep.
Go ahead, TB.
I agree with those sentiments. If you're a subscriber, you get our play right away, and the line is the same as what we get. If you get it later, we do make parameters. So yeah.
All
right, Bryan Leonard, I'm gonna throw it to you. Give us a game that you might want to talk about, maybe one that you want to put in the parlay.
Yeah, I'll give you what I used as my free play today. That's the Baltimore-San Diego game. It's got Wells against Darvish, 165, maybe 168 favor on Darvish right now, 8.5 to the under, 8 to the over in this one. The reason I like Baltimore here. The reason why I like them for the most part is I like the way they're hitting. They've got the younger guys up now, and they're doing very well. Tyler Wells is coming back from injury. He's only been able to get in 15 innings all season long, but I like him overall. His career ERA is 4.06 with a 1.05 whip. So far this season, 5.87 on the ERA, 7.64. But keep in mind, he's been hurt, 1.37 whip. The reason I like it is because he's able to come in. He's a fresh arm that they haven't been able to use all year long. And I talked about pitching in teams that have not had high leverage innings. That's been the Orioles. They've been out of it for a long time. And then he's going against Darvish here. And Darvish comes in with a 5.66 ERA, 3.66 expected. He's had a lot of bad luck, no doubt about it. 1.11 whip. But, he's in this is his 13th season, and he pitched across the water, as they say, in Japan for a long time. So those innings are getting up there. He's already thrown 1,700 innings in Major League Baseball, and he came over late. He's 39 years old. And if you're looking at the Padres, a lot of their guys that throw the big innings, the Ceases, the Darvishes, those kind of guys are struggling right now. And it's just they're piling up. His chase rate is only in the 6th percentile. He can't get players to swing for the same pitches they got when he was younger. Average exit velocity has been great, 90th percentile, hard hit rate, 88th percentile. But he's got 8 different pitches, which is what I like about him. So if something's not working, you can always go to something else. But the Padres right now are struggling. They're, 2.5 behind the Dodgers now? The Dodgers giving them every chance to take this division, and they're just not taking it. San Diego, as I mentioned, they're 11th in hitting over the last 2 weeks. And they've been very inconsistent. Baltimore's a team that's on their way up. They're 17th right now. They're hitting a 104 WRC plus. So I just thought the line was too high here. We're looking at, there's some places out there in the 175 range on the Padres. I can't back them there. Baltimore has been very good to me the last week, scoring a lot of runs. I've been getting them at good plus money prices. I'll be back on them again today. From an underdog standpoint, I think that game has the most value for an underdog on today's card, and that'll be my part of the parlay. I will play Baltimore. Looks like consensus is about 147. Let's take Baltimore plus 147.
Wow, there we go. Juice up those parlay odds. Love it. Go ahead, TV.
That means I can cheat and take a really bad line. Okay, good.
No, we've learned our lessons on that. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, we have. So it's $5 Tuesday, guys. Go to wagertalk.com and see what we have. We will have free plays up to at least take the 10 seconds to go to one of our 3 sites. Take a look what we got. Wagertalk.com, click experts, and we will be there. Yeah, like Bryan said, Darvish threw a lot of innings in Japan before he went to America. He was probably my favorite pitcher in Japan to watch. So good. He was better than Ohtani over here, and they were on the same team. But in America, obviously, Ohtani is outshining him, a younger guy and in his prime. But Darvish is getting a little old, and his stats are showing it. But, he ranks kind of middle in almost every category. So basically, we like to use the term innings eater. He's an innings eater. He's not flashy. He's not going to K 10 guys per 9, but he'll get the job done. He'll get a quality start half of the time he's out there. And he'll generally go 5 or 6 innings, and he'll give up 3 earned runs in 5 innings. Not great outing, but okay. So if the team can produce some runs, he can get you a win, maybe half of his starts. So Wells kind of scares me. He's given up 5 runs, 3 runs, 3 runs. I don't know how he's going to do today. The Padres, Bryan is exactly hit the nail on the head. I mean, the Padres had the lead over the Dodgers. They had 2 games or just 1.5 games? They were 1.5 games over the Dodgers like a week ago, and they barfed it away. They're losers right now. They're just losers. They're playing like garbage at the most critical time, but I still have their hitting in current form ranked 5 in Major League Baseball. So they still can hit. Both bullpens pretty average. Talent wise, San Diego, I think, is a top 2 bullpen, but they're getting injured and they're not playing well. And Darvish is Darvish. He'll probably give up 3 earned in 5 or 6 innings, and that's basically what you can expect from him these days. Overall, I might think about the Padres team total over because they're hitting so well, but there's too many X factors, and this game could go either way. I don't know if the Padres are going to shape up and start playing like a playoff contender. I mean, I actually thought they had World Series hopes when they overtook the Dodgers. I thought they were just going to put it in high gear and just, go, and they just laid an egg. Such a talented team though. But I can't go against the Padres here.
So Colin says, haven't looked how as well has been in rehab. He's actually been tremendous. I watched every inning of his last 2 rehab starts. He was excellent. And I'll point this out. The Orioles have been out of it for a while, so very similar to Kyle Bradish. They gave him a lot of time, 6 rehab starts. Like, they gave him more than enough time to sort of get back into the flow of things, work his way up from a couple of innings to throwing full starts. Like, the last 2 starts at AAA for him, 5 2/3, 6 1/3. Like, there's going to be no pitch restriction. He's going to be able to go his full allotment of pitches. And so, yeah, total numbers at Norfolk in August, a 2.70 ERA and a 1.20 WHIP. He's been solid. So I don't think you can expect Tyler Wells. I'm not saying that he's like this elite arm by any means, but I wouldn't worry about anything injury related or the fact that, like, you're going to get his best, you're going to get his full start right there. Only way I could play it is something Orioles related. So I'm with Bryan. I think he's right to sort of target that value. On the road, I always kind of look to that +1.5. It's a little pricey in the -145 range. So probably the better way to go is just to take the plus odds as Bryan did in our parlay. But the Orioles are that team where it's just like they're very Pirates-esque right now. A lot of young guys have come up. They're gonna probably be a good spoiler throughout the course of September. Jeremiah Jackson's been awesome. It's a young team, so they are a little bit hard to trust on the road, but I like the talent there, and I think they're very undervalued. So I'm with Bryan on liking the Orioles there. TB, you want to throw a game out for us to talk about?
A lot of people are asking for what were they asking for? Hang on a second. I would like to talk about Mariners Rays.
Let's do it.
Because we got two really good pitchers here. And I'd just like to talk about that for a minute. What do we got? But that's not going to be my parlay leg. But
that's fine. You can add your parlay leg at the end. We'll go Mariners Rays. Bryan, start us off Mariners Rays.
Yeah, Mariners Rays. Woo! Rasmussen. That's what I've said a lot of times when I bet on Rasmussen. He's been very good for me. Bryan Woo and Drew Rasmussen. We've got Woo at about a 110 favorite here, slightly favorite, I guess. 8 to the under in this game. Seattle and Tampa. And Seattle's, you take a look at Seattle lately, they have not played well. They've gone 5-5 in a time where Texas has been red hot for some reason. Right after Texas looked like they were out of it, now they got 18% chance to make the playoffs again. So Seattle, we thought had it all locked up. They were going to be the wild card team, if not winning the division. But they've struggled a little bit lately. In fact, on the season now, despite the 73-65 record for the Mariners, they only have a run differential of plus 17. They should only really be 1 or 2 games over 500 based on that run differential. So I love both these pitchers, but it is in Tampa Bay, which is the minor league ballpark. And we have seen some times where the offense gets the advantage there. But I'm going to be very short on it since I'm not involved here. I expect the first 5 to go under. And other than that, I'm passing on this game.
I think you got to take the Rays here, just because Drew Rasmussen has been lights out. And he's been especially lights out against these batters. 52 at bats against, 212 average against, and a 529 OPS. That's more than 200 points under what I consider the Mendoza line for OPS. Bryan Woo has really struggled against these batters, actually. 345 average against and an 862 OPS against. So I think Tampa has the bullpen. Tampa's bullpen is in better form. Got them ranked 4 in MLB. I got Seattle's ranked 20. Seattle's bullpen is much better than 20 in MLB, but not performing quite well right now. And I got both lineups pretty comparable. Granted, Seattle does have I think he still is the home run king for now, or did Schwarber pass him? I'm not sure, but they definitely have the best catcher, the best hitting catcher in MLB. That's undeniable. And him together with Suarez is a dangerous combination, but not performing right now. Give their catcher his home run. I still think Tampa Bay will win this game. Not a huge confidence play, but that's the way I would go in this one.
Yeah, I did a video for this game yesterday. Gave out the over. It did get there in the end. It probably shouldn't have been as difficult as it was, but there was some runs in that one late. I was tempted to kind of go back the other way here, but I don't. I was really. I guess it would have been naive to think that you would get an 8.5 in a game with Woo and Rasmussen on the mound. That being said, like the fact that you're getting an 8 flat, I think I make it 7.5 for an under. So like maybe some slight value on the under there. I also think I'd probably go the other way. And again, this is probably more due to where I have the Mariners rated, but coming off of yesterday's sort of getting blown out, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too high on this Mariners team, and that could be, that could be a thing. I feel like they were one where I was ahead of the curve on them. They sort of came out and took the division lead over there. And since they just haven't played as well, but I have them rated like significantly higher than the Rays, which is maybe I'm wrong with that. My numbers like the Mariners, but my gut is telling me like, I don't know, you don't want to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so this is one I'm probably going to have to pass on because, again, my numbers like the Mariners. I personally like Woo, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting what I consider to be the better team, minus 105, minus 110. But man, they had nothing last night, and they got blown out. And we saw it with the Mariners in that Philly series where they kind of just dragged on the road, and it permeated throughout the series. And I'm having flashbacks to that. So I don't know. I don't know if I can get into this one. Tough game. Will be, again, another one that's going to be great to watch, but I don't know if I can bet anything in that game. TB, do you know what you want to use to close out this parlay here?
I do, and don't throw tomatoes at me, but we've got the number 5 MLB starter in all of MLB going against the worst team in MLB. Got to take the Giants here. Minus 225 for a parlay leg. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, give me the tomatoes.
I like it. I decided yesterday that I'm back in on the Giants a little bit, especially I think they sweep this series. So I'm
you
not
know what?
No tomatoes coming from here.
It's weird to think, but the Giants and the Diamondbacks still have playoff hopes. I mean, slim, but still.
Hey, if they can sweep in Colorado here, they're at least in the conversation. I think they're going to.
Exactly.
So no tomatoes coming from this side of the
Devers is hitting now
Baby Bryan's got a couple for you. I don't know.
Oh yeah, 1.8 chance to make the play. 1.8% chance to make the playoffs. They are trying to finish the season with a winning record though, and they're right at 500 right now. So I understand that. For myself, I don't like to go against Freeland at home. He's the only guy that knows how to pitch in this ballpark. He and Marquez over the years. But that said, yeah, Colorado's not a good team, but they're a much better team at home than they are on the road. I'm just trying to throw out something the other way, but
I hear you. They got some scrappy young hitters, but I think the Giants have more. So
you can get
number 5 pitcher in MLB.
So, a little bit less than what you said, so you can get him at 215 out there.
Yeah,
really. You're telling me that a 69 win team versus a 39 win team is only minus 220. Wow. Okay.
On the road.
Yeah. So
I wrote, TB, I'm with you. I wrote about that game extensively yesterday, and obviously I like the spot and the price better yesterday for the Giants, but I said I won't. I really do think they probably sweep this series. I like what I've seen from them this weekend and into this series, and then they did exactly what I expected them to do yesterday. They won, and they won convincingly. So Travis says easy parlay leg Giants.
It is easy. I'm taking the easy way.
I never like to say anything is easy, but like I'm not arguing with you about putting that in there. I'm fine.
Like
with
Bryan
it. I
said,
really do think.
Last time I said the same spiel. I said, "Don't hate me. I'm going to take the easy way out." I lost. So. It was against the Rockies. It was against the Rockies. It was the Dodgers.
Nothing easy, but I do think your rationale there is sound, and I expect the Giants to man up and take care of business in Denver. I said it yesterday, and I'm with you, TV. So I'm fine with that. With that.
$5 Tuesday.
$5 Tuesday. I've got my 4%, my best bet. Probably the only play I'm going to use today. Up right now. Number 2 the last 3 days, last 7 days. Number 1 lifetime in Major League Baseball. What did you get a total on this parlay yet?
I did. Yes, I'm going to read it one more time right here. The 3-teamer for today is Giants money line, Orioles money line, and I'm going to use Pirates plus 1.5. So Tokyo Brandon Giants money line, Bryan Leonard Orioles money line. Those will nicely balance each other out right there from a price standpoint. And then I'm going to go with Pirates plus 1.5. That 3-teamer is plus 576. And I gave that Pirates plays a 4%er for me. I'm going to put it in the free plays section if you're looking for additional analysis on it. I'm not going to sell that one. Deciding to be generous today, even though I was 2-0 yesterday, but I'll find something else to sell. Don't worry about that. But that is a client play for me. Pirates plus 1.5, a 4%er. Sorry, Bryan, did you have something else to add there?
Nope. Oh. All set.
$5 Tuesday.
$5 Tuesday. Everyone will have a play up for $5. check out everyone's page. You can basically get all three of our plays, all three of our $5 plays for the less than the price of like one play. So it's a great day to shop around on the site. Yeah, that's a wrap. Tomorrow morning, 9 Eastern, as every day, we'll be here grinding it out. Have a great Tuesday, everyone. Cash all your tickets. We'll see you guys in the morning.